Hello everyone and welcome back to Kanai Lab. I'm here today with another one good tool, Tableau, which is a powerful tool for business analytics and data visualization. Before we jumping into the visual creation on the data, let us understand some introduction about the Tableau. Tableau has free as well as paid platform that allows user to create interactive visuals and dashboard to publish for the audience purpose. It is very user friendly as it can have drag and drop option which helps transforming the data into insights like stories. By the way, data visualization helps to turn complex data set into easy to understand visual representation. This helps to uncover trends, pattern, making it easier for decision making. For the demonstration purpose, we have a data which is in CSV format related to a superstore which is available in open domain, which contains data from the superstores like what is order date, ship date, country, city, sales, postcode, region, etc. etc. For the demonstration purpose, I am going to use Tableau Public, which is free to use. I am going to connect my system to Tableau, which is already installed on my system. So I'm just opening my Tableau desktop, which is called Tableau Public. Once it is open, I'm going to connect to a data file or the resource file, which is a CSV file. So the data set name is Superstore Open. So this is the first UI or the interface when you open a Tableau. You have to drag the tables to the canvas. We call the central portion as canvas. So I drag the table called orders to the central portion, which is called canvas. So now this is the user interface area. Now I'm connecting to the entire pane. We have the pane like this. We will call it as a pane, P-A-N-E. On the left side, we have the information about the data and the analytics, whatever it is available. The data, we have the information about all the columns present in the data which is in the form of measures. Measures is nothing but the data into the numerical data, and there is something called dimensions are the data which is in the categorical mode. So this is the data pane, and on the center this is nothing but we call it as a canvas. Final visual will be available, and there is a pane called column and row which produce the structure of the visual where we drag the columns to the rows or the columns. The visual is going to appear on the central pane called canvas. We have another very important page filter, marks, etc. available on the left of the canvas, which is making the visual more controlling and formatting. So we will be applying filters, we will be applying pages, and we will be dealing with multiple colors for segmenting the data. And if you want to find the text inside the visual, we will be using the text function, and there is something called size. Basically, the data will be presenting in terms of the size format. This is all about the understanding about the data, and we are going to practice some visual with using this data set. Please remember, we can ask a lot of questions to the data. The best question can be asked by the best expert into the data or the business. Also, asking as many number of questions to the data, the output is better insight from the data. Please remember this background of data understanding. Now we are going to ask our first question to the data. What is the sales trend on the order? So I'm going to rename, taking the first sheet, that sheet 1, I'm writing as the column name as, or the visual name is sales trend. When I change the name of the sheet, you can see the name is reflected on the canvas as well. Since it is the sale trend, I need to select the column called sale, which has to pass into either columns or the rows. At this time, I'm going to drag the sale into the rows. I'm going to pass another column, which is nothing called order date, Now this order date is always follow the line or the time series kind of a data normally represent always in the line chart. So you can see that this data only represent for 11, 12, 13 and 14 of 20,000. So 2000. If you want to change that in terms of month or day or quarter, you can manipulate like this. So this is the quarter wise data. And if you want to the data in terms of a month, you can see here, this is the month-wise data, and all the aggregation of the January will be come here for the all the 4 years, and similarly for the all the other months. So this is all about the first graphical representation of the data called sales over trend. We are moving to the another type of visual, which is nothing but visuals between sales versus profit. These are both numerical data for us. I'm going to drag both columns to row or columns. We have sales column, we have profit column. You can see here by immediate or by default, it's aggregating as a sum, which will not produce any visuals. You have to convert that into dimension. Also, sum of profit also come also dimension, which is nothing but the count, where now I can see very clearly when the profit increases, the sales is also going to increase. The trend can be perfectly gained from this kind of a chart called scatter chart, where two continuous variable is going to plot like a scatters. After scatter chart, we are going to move into another very interesting chart with adding third variable. This time I'm going to take again sales with region as well as category. So I am going to take sales versus region and categories. This title, as you can see that on the name itself, sales is there. Sales I'm going to pass into the rows. I have a column called category, which is the first column in the data set. So sales into column into category. I can see that there are furniture, office supplies, and technology materials. If you want to get the details, it is available. And also remember, if you are in need of kind of a formatting of the text and the pictures, you can go to the format option where all the text or the picture formatting is possible. This particular presentation not for the formatting the visual. This is only for understanding the platform, which data goes best with the which type of visual, and finally presenting a dashboard from the visuals created. Now we are going to add my third variable into the data. My third variable in this time, this is region. I want to understand what is the data for the region with all the categories. This is the region. Region I'm going to paste next to the category. So once again, it's missing somewhere. 1 second. Hold on. So where region is here, region next to the columns. Yep. This is the visualization bar chart for with the third variable. Initially, we prepared sales versus category. Now subcategory is into region where east, central, north, west, the distribution of sales can be easily identified. With the third variable understanding, we are moving to another very interesting chart called distribution, which is very common chart in statistics, nothing but distribution check. So I'm checking the distribution of the quantity this time. I'm writing the title name is quantity distribution. So I have to take the quantity. I'm taking the quantity into the columns. Again, once again, quantity into the columns now. Now we need to understand which kind of chart is preserved. I need to take one more column so that I have to see which kind of chart is. Okay, we have an option show me. Yeah, it's very simple. When I saw the recommendation using the show me function, quantity can be distributed where the columns is quantity and by default a rows is created, which is the count of quantity. I can see the second bin shows the largest number of frequency of 4,811, which is actually showing that the quantity is distributed, not normally some kind of deviation from the normal distribution. With that, we are moving to another sheet, which is nothing but distribution of sales figures across region and category. So let me rename it sales with the region. We have already prepared sales versus region and category. This time little bit different. We want to check and analyze as a part to whole. You might be heard about the concept of part to whole, which is to check percentage distribution of region to whole sales revenues. Normally, pie chart is the best chart for analyzing the part to whole strategy. So we are going to make the mark first, which is automatically text, and I'm going to convert into pie chart where I'm going to take the sales now the sales I'm going to pass into the angle wedges where whole concept is clear. Once the whole concept is clear, I need to take the second variable. So my second variable is category. Category I'm taking into the colors. Now I can see that color differentiation with the different category for the sum of sales. But I need to get the label. The label is for again sales only. I need to get the numbers. So sales I'm passing into the label. You can see here. So the difference between the three different category in terms of a pie chart. So we completed pie chart. Moving to the another very interesting chart, which is nothing but tree map. Have you heard about tree map? Tree map is another method of part-to-whole concept. Sorry, part-to-whole analysis. Tree map is interpreted based on the size of the square boxes. Since it is interpreted based upon the size of the square boxes, you have to change this into square. Immediately after that, as usual, we are going to pass sales into the size because tree map is interpreting based upon the size. After that sales, now I am going to change the category, this category into the color. When I change category into the color, I got a beautiful tree map, but unfortunately there is no labels. To create the labels inside the tree map, definitely which are the labels I need? I need sales label. I can see that number present, but I need subcategory label. So when I pass like this, you can see here, it's beautifully represented in a tree map. Say that. So the most of the time, the chairs is actually the most, and again fonts are there. So many other variable. I am going to write name to this particular name, tree map. With the tree map, moving to the another one, which is nothing but another timeline chart. But this time not line chart. I am going to take another thing called area chart, or we can take another parameter called quantity. So you can take anything, but this is all sample only. I am going to take a quantity chart. So for the area map, you have to take this automatic into area. Whatever the area behind the lines representing the volume of the data, you can understand. Now mark is my area. Now since it is a timeline chart, I am going to take order date as column, and which parameter we are going to take? I'm going to take order quantity. So order quantity into the rows. You can see across the years, the area represented the distribution or the number of quantities. If the value is not clearly visible in the year, better you convert that into month. You can see that. So this is the line chart, but in terms of area, the volume representing the data. Now we are closing with one another visual, which is nothing but box plot. Box plot will definitely another distribution check as well as outlier check. So this time we are going to analyze the distribution by using the box plot. We are going to find the distribution of discount across different region. So I'm going to plot the discount. Definitely I'm going to take the variable discount here, discount to the rows. Next, I have to take another column. This time I'm going to take a variety. I need to take a segment as a column. So I'm going to take the segment to the columns. You can see here now I have a bar chart. So by default bar chart is available, and I'm going to mark this box plot into a type called circle, because each and every outlet should be represented as a circle in the distribution check like box plot. So you can see here, this is box circle now. Now the recommendation chart you have to see on the right side. You can see box plot. Now I have the box plot for the discount for particular segment. You can see this is the median, the center line medium, lower viscous, upper viscous, first quartile, median, third quartile, and lower and upper viscous. If you want to make a granularity on the data, putting another variable into that, you can take another variable, suppose region. You can region pass into the columns. You will be having the distribution of this particular parameter called segment. You can see that different region, the values distributed differently. I can see that for the center, the distribution on the upper side, and it's a very small percentage data present on the south side. Definitely there are huge differences between the different regions of this particular data. So we are concluding the visual presentation. Now I want to close the visualization by one concept, which is nothing but creating a visual dashboard, making a better story. So what is dashboard? Dashboard is the collection of visuals or collection of images on a single sheet where people can interpret the data by connecting the meaning between the visuals. So for creating a dashboard, you can click here. This is for worksheet and this is for dashboard. Create the dashboard. How do we create the dashboard? You rename the data. I can say that Superstore story. This is just like a sample only, may not be proper. Taking the first sheet into the dashboard, making into the floating so that I can arrange the picture, making easy to fit into the canvas. Now first picture of order date versus sales is ready. Another one I'm taking sales versus region. Again, enabling the floating option so that I can reduce the size of the picture. Now it is okay to fit in this particular picture. Now I'm selecting the another one, which is nothing but sales versus profit. Again, dragging into the picture and making again plotting option so that I can drag to the bottom. Now a little bit dragging on the left and right. I'm not so good in creating the dashboard. So normally when a BA analyst create the visuals and someone will create the dashboard, nobody is going to do everything. So it is just a demonstration. How can you do that? Now, if you see the kind of a visuals in the presentation mode, you can see the sales trend. You can see the sales versus profit, sales versus region, quantity distribution, sales versus region, tree map, area chart, discount, and this is the super story dashboard. So we are concluding with the dashboard. So a best analyst can do this kind of an activity as a first criterion. Then formatting and styling is the secondary part where this information is passing to kind of a beautiful visuals and dashboard, which will make good appealing of the data in kind of a visuals. Now on the top, we have one more thing that is called story. If you want to make story, you can utilize the dashboard. Also, you can utilize the visual so that continuous story can be created by using the visuals and dashboard. Right now, we are not going to create any story. I'm giving to you as a story creation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this sheet as save to Tableau Public. As I mentioned, this particular Tableau variant is Tableau Public, where freely useful. And if you want to publish your worksheet or publish your dashboard or publish your story into the audience, you are going to create this as a worksheet and presenting on the Tableau online. So I am going to prepare a story and I am going to publish into the public. Kana is AI lab. Sorry, some spelling mistake. Then saving it. Immediately after saving, this will redirect into the signing option. It's signing now. Sorry, saving now. Yeah, save and connecting into the Tableau Online, which is a cloud-based. This is my Kana is ALA. We can see here my beautiful dashboard is here, which is easy to publish the people. So I can see that I can share it, I can download it, but this option is not available with the Tableau Public desktop. So that free version doesn't have any option of publishing the dashboard. And story also you can publish through Tableau Public online only, where this will be stored on the Tableau cloud. So with that, we are concluding the video on creating beautiful dashboard and visual using Tableau. Hope you are clear with what is Tableau, how to create visuals using Tableau, how to create dashboard using Tableau. Hopefully you can able to create beautifying, formatting, fine-tuning the visuals by using the format option, and you can share the dashboard visuals and story to the public using Tableau Online. Again, once again, watching the video may not be able to do the activities. Please explore Tableau, do variety of exercises and be master in Tableau. Once again, thanking everyone to join this video. Stay tuned for more informative content.